All right, Deshaun, hey, we've had a roller coaster in this country recently, all stemming from the federal funding freeze from the White House.
And Monday, it was sent out in a memo. Tuesday, it was supposed to take effect, but the freeze was paused. And now today, the White House has rescinded the order.
Yeah, certainly a lot to keep up with. Fox 61's Emma Wolforst is here to break it all down for us because, needless to say, Emma, there's been a lot of confusion with this whole thing.
Absolutely, Brent. Bridget, if you're feeling some whiplash with all of this back and forth right now, you're definitely not alone. So let's go through what we do know right now. 48 hours of back and forth. Wednesday afternoon, the White House Office of Management and Budget rescinded a memo which froze federal grants and loans. This after a federal judge temporarily blocked the pause until Monday, and Connecticut Attorney General William Tong joined 21 other states in suing to stop the policy. But the White House order already created chaos and confusion for many, with nonprofits here in Connecticut saying when there's a lack of clarity, it sows fear.
They fear not for themselves, they fear for the people who depend on them for services.
But even with Monday night's OMB memo rescinded, many questions remain. Wednesday afternoon, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt said on X, quote, "This is not a rescission of the federal funding freeze. It is simply a rescission of the OMB memo." Why? To end any confusion created by the court's injunction. The president's EOs on federal funding remain in full force and effect and will be rigorously implemented. So what does that mean? Well, President Trump's previous executive orders freezing specific aid, like foreign assistance and diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives, are still in effect. Even still, many Connecticut federal and state lawmakers, elected officials, and residents say this is far from over.
We talk about shelter and housing for families. We're talking about behavioral health, mental health care, and substance abuse treatment. We're talking about services for people with disabilities.
In a statement Wednesday, Senator Richard Blumenthal said, quote, "This federal funding freeze is theft and corruption." He continued, "These whiplash reversals only exacerbate the confusion and chaos and amplify disruption and damage to essential services." Attorney General Tong also issued a statement writing, quote, "I do not for a second believe this threat is over." He added, "The announcements from the White House today are just more confusion and chaos. We are in court today and we are going to stay there for as long as it takes to protect Connecticut families and our state." So as of right now, overall federal loans and grants appear to be unchanged. And a federal judge signaled tonight he was willing to issue a temporary restraining order, the one proposed by the 22 state attorneys general who sued, to stop the Trump administration from freezing federal funding. Bridget, Brent.